Hello everyone, I am Serish Sulfikar and today I am going to solve past papers of ICATS English Linguistics Contest for grade 5 and 6 year 2025. Read the following article and answer the questions 1 through 5. Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on earth, stands at 29,032 feet above sea level. Many climbers attempt to reach its summit each year, drawn by the thrill of conquering such a formidable challenge. So, the meaning of summit is highest point or peak. Conquering means achieving something, and formidable means something that is extremely powerful. However, the ascent is fraught with dangers. The meaning of ascent is the act of climbing or rising upwards, whereas the meaning of fraught is filled with something undesirable or difficult, including avalanches, extreme cold, and unpredictable weather. So, the meaning of avalanches is sudden and rapid flows of snow, ice, and something debris down a mountainside. In addition, the high altitude means that oxygen levels are much lower than at sea level, often causing severe altitude sickness among climbers. To counter this, many climbers use a supplemental oxygen tanks which help them breathe as they approach the summit. The first successful ascent of Everest was achieved by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953. Their historic climb paved the way for thousands of others. Yet climbing Everest remains an achievement few complete. Today, overcrowding on the mountain poses new risks. Despite these challenges, the desire to conquer Everest endures as climbers from all over the world continue to test their limits on its icy slopes. Question number 1. Why do climbers use supplemental oxygen tanks on Mount Everest? Option A, to stay hydrated during the climb. Option B, to protect themselves from avalanches. Option C, to counter the effects of low oxygen levels at high altitudes. And the last option is to help them stay warm in the cold temperatures. So it was mentioned in the text, the high altitudes when oxygen levels are very low, many climbers use supplemental oxygen tanks which help them breathe as they approach the summit. So we can choose option C here. To counter the effects of low oxygen levels at high altitudes, supplemental oxygen tanks are used by many climbers. Question number 2. What new danger has emerged for climbers on Mount Everest? Option A, inadequate training facilities. Option B, overcrowding on the mountain. Option C, limited access to oxygen tanks. And last option is lack of interest in climbing the mountain. So it was given in the text that today overcrowding on the mountain poses new risks. So we can choose option B over here. Due to overcrowding on the mountain, new danger has emerged for climbers. Question number 3. Which event marked a turning point in Everest's history? Option A, the increase in severe altitude sickness cases. Option B, the discovery of new climbing routes in the 2000s. Option C, the development of supplemental oxygen tanks. And the last option is the successful ascent by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. So, the first successful ascent of Everest was achieved by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953, which paved the way for thousands of others. So, we can choose option D over here. The successful ascent by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay was a turning point in Everest history, which paved the way for others. Question number 4. Which of the following best describes the climber's motivation to reach Everest summit? Option A, a desire for fame and recognition. Option B, a quest to overcome a challenging and dangerous feat. Option C, the requirement to prove their survival skills. And the last option is the obligation to reach the highest point on earth. It was mentioned in the text as well that climbers want to test their limits on the icy slopes of Mount Everest. So, the motivation to reach Everest summit is a quest to overcome a challenging and dangerous feat. So, we will choose option B here. Question number 5. Based on the passage, which of these statements is most accurate? Option A, Mount Everest is the most accessible mountain for climbers worldwide, which is not correct. Option B, Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay's success discouraged future climbers. It's completely incorrect because their success encouraged the future climbers. Option C, climbing Mount Everest has become more dangerous due to overcrowding. It can be a correct option that is discussed earlier that overcrowding is posing new risks for the climbers. Option D, supplemental oxygen is unnecessary for most high altitude climbers, which is also incorrect. So we will choose option C over here. Climbing Mount Everest has become more dangerous due to overcrowding. Read the following poem and answer the questions 6 through 10. The Swing by Robert Louis Stevenson. How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it is pleasantest thing ever a child can do. Up in the air and over the wall till I can see so wide. Rivers and trees and cattle and all over the countryside. Till I look down on the garden green, down on the roof so brown. Up in the air I go flying again, up in the air and down. Question number 6. What is the poem mostly about? Option A, climbing trees. Option B, playing in the garden. Option C, flying a kite. Option D, swinging up high. So option D is the correct option. The poem Swing is about swinging up high in the air. Question number 7. What does the speaker see while swinging high in the air? Option A, the sea and mountains. Option B, the rivers, trees, cattle, and countryside. Option B, flying birds above. Option D, cars on a busy road. So it was given in the poem that rivers and trees and cattle and all over the countryside. So we can choose option B here. The speaker see the rivers, trees, cattle and the countryside while swinging high in the air. How does the speaker feel about swinging? Option A, he thinks it's the most fun thing a child can do. Option B, he thinks it's scary. Option C, he feels bored while swinging. And the last option is, he does not like it very much. According to speaker, it is the most pleasant thing ever a child can do. So we should choose option A here. He thinks it's the most fun thing a child can do. Question number 9. In the line up in the air, I go flying again. What does the word flying mean? Option A, jumping off the swing. Option B, actually flying like a bird. Option C, going very high as if soaring in the air. Option D, climbing a ladder. So soaring means to rise, fly or increase rapidly to a great height or level. So the meaning of flying in up in the air, I go flying again is like going very high as if soaring in the air. So we'll choose option C here. Question number 10. Which words best describe the mood of the poem? Option A, sad and gloomy. Option B, fun and joyful. Option C, angry and frustrated. Option D, serious and quiet. So the mood of the poem is not angry, frustrated, serious, quiet, sad or gloomy. It's fun and joyful. So we will choose option B here. Question number 11. Look at these details from a paragraph about same topic. Herbal tea can be brewed from plant leaves. Different fruits are also used to make some herbal teas. In addition, plant roots can be used to make herbal teas. Choose the main or central idea that ties all the details together. Option A, flower petals can be made into herbal tea. Option B, herbal tea can be made from fruit or plant roots. Option C, herbal tea has a range of health benefits. Option D, herbal tea can be created from various plant parts. So it was given in the text that herbal tea can be made using different parts of plants like leaves, fruits, or roots. So that's why we will choose option D here. Herbal tea can be created from various plant parts. Question number 12. Read the below given two texts and answer the following question. Text 1. The original Olympic Games started in ancient Greece in 776 BCE. At that time, the sporting events were designed to show off the talents of male athletes. Women were not allowed to watch or take part in the Olympic Games. Instead, a separate competition was created for women. However, the women's sporting events were less challenging than the men's events. Also, only unmarried women were allowed to take part in the competition. Text 2. Centuries after the original Olympics ended, the famous athletic games returned in 1896. This modern competition included new events and was open to countries from around the world. However, women were not allowed to take part in Olympic events until 1900. Even then, they were only able to compete in events such as golf, tennis, sailing, and horse riding. Thankfully, more and more Olympic events became open to women over time. Which sentence best combines the main or central ideas of both texts? Option A. At the start of both the ancient and the modern Olympic Games, women were not allowed to fully take part in the sporting events. Option B. Women were more successful in joining the ancient Olympic Games than they were at the start of the modern Olympics. Option C. Unlike other organized games, the Olympic Games have welcomed both men and women equally throughout history. Option D. While the Olympic Games have existed for centuries, the original sporting events were much less challenging than today's games. So the only suitable option is option A. At the start of both the ancient and modern Olympic Games, women were not allowed to fully take part in the sporting events. Question number 13. Read the below given story and answer the following question. The ride home. As the school bus chugged away, means to move steadily or persistently, often at a slow pace. Sophia walked slowly up the quiet street. Her neighbor Daud stopped to wait for her. Hey Sophia, how was your first week? Awful, Sophia thought. Staring ahead, it was okay. I am pretty tired, she said. She wanted to say that she missed her old home and her old friends. Really? Are you sick or something? Asked Daud. Yeah, actually, I think the bus is making me sick. I used to ride my bike to school, said Sophia. Oh, did you know there's a bike trail 2 streets over? Asked Daud. Really? Yeah, it's like 50 kilometers long. I have biked the whole thing a few times. Maybe if you feel better later, I can show you. Sophia really just wanted to sleep the afternoon away, but Daud seemed friendly. Sure, Sophia said. Can I stop by around 5? Perfect, Daud said. See you then. He went inside his house. At her own home, Sophia found her bike in the garage among all the boxes of unpacked stuff. Her bike remained her that just a few weeks ago. She had been riding around her old neighborhood with her old friends. At 5 o'clock, Sophia went next door. Daud was already outside with another boy and a girl when Sophia arrived. Daud introduced them and said that they wanted to go for a ride too. As she pedaled alongside the others, the wind in her face, Sophia realized that she was feeling okay for the first time since moving. Which of the following best describes the main theme or lesson of the story? Option A. No one likes a complainer. Option B. It's better to let go of the past. Option C. Be open to new friendships. Option D. None of the above. So, according to the given text, the main theme or main lesson of the story can be open to new friendships. It can make you feel much better. Question number 14. What is the following text most likely purpose? To treat a bee sting, first remove the sting, next wash the area and then apply ice. Option A to persuade, option B to inform, option C to entertain, option D none of these. So the given text is a piece of information that how we can treat a bee sting. So that's why option B is the correct option, to inform. Question number 15. Use the below given text to put the following events in order. A solar oven uses the sun's heat to cook food. Rays of sunlight enter the oven through a glass or plastic top. The rays then hit reflectors that send the rays to dark surfaces in the oven. The dark surfaces absorb some of the rays and heat begins to spread through the oven. As more rays enter, the temperature inside gets warmer and warmer. The oven's insulation or padding keeps this heat from escaping. Rays are absorbed by dark surfaces. The second point is the temperature rises. Third one is rays pass through glass or plastic. And the fourth point is rays hit reflectors. So to put the following events in order, point number 3 will be chosen first, that the rays of the sunlight enter the oven through a glass or plastic top. After that, point number 4 will be chosen, that the rays then hit reflectors. Then point number 1 will come, the dark surfaces absorb some of the rays. That is written as rays are absorbed by dark surfaces. And at the end, we will choose heat begins to spread through the oven. So we will choose option C here. Question number 16. Put the following sentences in order from beginning to end. The first point is, within 40 hours of Beckham joining the Galaxy, the team sold 5,000 season tickets. Second point is, 16 years later, in 2007, Beckham joined the Los Angeles Galaxy team. Third is, he began playing for England's Manchester United team in 1991. The fourth point is, David Beckham was one of the most popular football players in the world. So to arrange the sentences in order from beginning to end, we will choose point number 4 first. David Beckham was one of the most popular football players in the world. After that, point number 3 will be chosen. Right after that, point number 2 will come, and at the end, we will choose point number 1, which is, within 40 hours of Beckham joining the Galaxy, the team sold 5,000 season tickets. So here, option B is the correct option. Question number 17. Choose the transition that introduces a new example or idea. Henry Ford forever changed the automobile industry. Dash, he changed the way that companies manufactured cars. By using an assembly line, Ford's company was able to produce cars for a lower price. Option A, specifically. Option B, otherwise. Option C, on the other hand. And option D, none of these. So option B and C, like otherwise and on the other hand, are used to show the opposite of the action which was taken before, which is not the case in the text. Here, Henry Ford forever changed the automobile industry specifically, like we will mention that what he has done in specific. He changed the way that companies manufactured cars. So here option A is the correct option. Question number 18. Read the below given paragraph, then add the best topic sentence. Treat was a scientist who studied plants and insects in the 1800s. She was one of the few women to earn a living in science at that time. Treat wrote books and magazines articles that made science easy for anyone to understand. She introduced new people, including women, to the topics she studied. These women realized that they too could do research and observe the world. Option A. Mary Treat earned a living writing articles for magazines. Option B. Mary Treat exchanged letters with famous scientists. Option C. Mary Treat showed women that they could work in science. And option D is Mary Treat and Alice Boring were both female scientists. So here we can choose option C, because after reading the books and magazine articles of Mary Treat, women realized that they too could do research and observe the world. So this is our correct option here. Question number 19. Based on the below given text, which sentence is most likely to be true? One necklace had half a heart with the word best. The matching necklace had the other half a heart with the word friends. Ella frowned. Two necklaces just like every other set. Oh well, she would just make her own necklaces. One would say best, or one would say friends, and one would say forever. So the options are, Ella often makes her own jewelry. Option B, Ella has two best friends. Option C, Ella works in a jewelry shop. And option D, all of these. So there is no such information that she is working in a jewelry shop or she has two best friends. So we will choose option A. Ella often makes her own jewelry. That's why she wanted to make a necklace with three words: best, friends, and forever. Question number 20. Complete the following analogy. Card is to deck as flower is to stem, scent, bouquet, or petal. So one card is part of a deck, and similarly, one flower is part of a bouquet. So we will choose option C here. Question number 21. Complete the sentence with the best relative pronoun. Mrs. Salman dash patience is unbelievable, can handle even the most difficult child's behavior. Option A who, B whom, C which, and D is whose. So we'll choose option D here, Mrs. Salman, whose patience is unbelievable. So option D is the correct option here. Read the below given first part of the story and answer the following question. The locked box. Bina started out the attic window at some kids playing in the garden next door. They were using purple nets to fling a funny looking toy back and forth. Bina longed to join them. Long means waited, but she could not figure out the rules of their game. I am not good at sports anyway, she thought, walking away. It was Bina's third day visiting her adventurous Uncle Farouk, but so far the only adventure she would had was looking at objects her uncle had collected on his travels. She was careful not to touch anything. These things are extremely valuable and some might be dangerous. Uncle Farouk had warned. Before Bina could ask him why, he went back to writing about his adventures. The objects did look strange, but Bina couldn't see anything dangerous. On her way out of the attic, she spied a red key on the floor. Uncle Farouk probably dropped this, she thought. I wonder what it unlocks. Based on the story, which is most likely to happen next? Option A, Bina will ask Uncle Farouk to write about how he found the red key. That's not the appropriate one. Option B, Bina will leave the red key on the floor and leave the attic. Option B, Bina will try to use the red key and it will lead to something dangerous. Option D, Bina will invite the kids next door to look at the key. So, option C can be the suitable option as Bina is curious and she wanted to see that what it unlocks. So, she'll try to use the red key even if it leads to something dangerous. Question number 23. Read the below given poem, then review the bolded text in the first stanza. Blast off. Every school year we go to the moon, but this is the new kid's first ride. I look over at Zach as we take off. He wears a smile a mile wide. He spent the whole day exploring. We get moon rocks to bring back. The problem comes when he reboard and weigh each person's back. Zach's pack is far too heavy, so our ship can't take off yet. I say I'll leave my rocks behind. With rocks at home, I am more than set. Zack says he needs the moon rocks to give to his family as gifts. He keeps telling me how happy he is as our spaceship finally lifts. The bolded text shows hyperbole, which uses extreme or unrealistic language to describe something, which is the purpose of the text. Option A, it draws attention to the fact that the narrator thinks the moon is boring place to visit. That is not right. Option B suggests that the narrator is happier than Zack about this trip. Option C, it highlights the fact that the moon is very far from the earth. No such information is given. Option D, it shows how excited Zack is to go on a trip to the moon. So option D is the correct option because Zack was happy, he was smiling, he was sharing his excitement with the narrator. So option D is the correct option here. Question number 24. You are writing a story about Parvez who is trying to study in a noisy library. Choose the best description to show that Parvez is hostile. Hostile means unfriendly. Option A. Parvez began reviewing his flashcards, whispering words to himself under his breath. Option B. Parvez pounded his fist on the table. Would these children never quiet down? Option C. A child at a nearby table was singing a nursery rhyme. Pervez smiled at him. Option D, none of the above. So here only option B is the suitable option. Hostile means unfriendly, shows that he is not happy or he is uncomfortable. Question number 25. Read the below given passage and then answer the following question. The cello is a wooden musical instrument with four strings. It played by pulling a bow across the strings or plucking them. The cello is shaped like the violin but stands a little over a meter tall. Because the cello strings are longer than the violins, the cello has a lower pitched sound with stringed instruments. As the length of a string diminishes, the pitch becomes higher. The cello was developed about 300 years ago. Early players would squeeze the instrument between their knees to hold it up while playing. Today's cello has a peg at the bottom, which makes it easier to play. The peg rests on the floor when it's played. What is the meaning of diminishes as used in the passage? Option A starts shaking, B becomes smaller, C gets stronger, D grows larger. So diminishes means becomes smaller. Question number 26, which correctly shows the title of a book? So four options are given here. So here option A, the title Stones for My Father, follows standard capitalization rules for book titles, especially title case. In title case, the first and last words are always capitalized along with major words such as nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. However, short function words such as articles, and, the, conjunctions, and, but, or, and prepositions like of, for, with, in are typically not capitalized until they are the first or last word of the title. So here S of stones will be capitalized because it is the first word and a noun. The F of for will not be capitalized because it is a short preposition. M of my will be capitalized because pronouns are considered important words, and F of father will be capitalized because it is a noun and a significant word in the title. So out of all the options, we will choose option A. Question number 27. Look at this thesaurus entry. Derelict. Part of speech, adjective, definition left unused, synonyms abandoned, deserted, desolate, and discarded. Which is derelict? Option A new pack of pencils. Option B, leftovers. Option C, an empty run-down house. And option D is all of these. So out of all the options, option C is the correct option. Like an empty run-down house means it can be abandoned or deserted. It can be left unused. So here we should choose option C. Whereas leftovers means the remainings, like we have used them and they are leftovers. Question number 28. Which of the following terms refers to the phenomenon where a word develops a broader meaning over time? Option A, amelioration. Option B, pejoration. Option C, generalization. And option D, narrowing. So here generalization means a process of forming a broad or universal idea. So we will choose option C here. Question number 29. Complete the below given sentence with the correct form of the adjective. We built the tree house in the dash tree in the whole garden. So it is about whole garden. We will choose option A, straightest, which is the superlative form of the adjective straight. So if we built the tree house in the straightest tree in the whole garden. Number 30, read the opinion given below. Getting sick with the flu is worse than having the common cold. Select the reason that best supports this opinion. So, flu and common cold both are respiratory illnesses caused by viruses, but flu typically causes more intense symptoms such as high fever, body ache, fatigue, and chills. Whereas common cold is usually milder with symptoms like a runny nose, sneezing, and sore throat, and rarely leads to severe complications. So here option A is the common colds usually last much longer than the flu does. Option B, washing your hands frequently is the best way to avoid getting a cold or the flu. Option C, the flu usually comes with a higher fever than a cold does. And D is none of the above. So here we will choose option C. The flu usually comes with a higher fever than the cold does. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel.